Legend has suggested that the entrance to the ancient city of Rome was heavily fortified and guarded around the clock by an army of giants. This is not ancient Rome. However, this incredible multi-million-dollar Roman Forum shopping mall at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas also has its entrance heavily fortified and protected, this time by a single computer-controlled 33-foot-tall giant standing guard 24 hours a day inside the wall, awaiting the call to arms of today's most feared enemy, smoke and fire. Like most of the thousands of one-door installations around the country, project architects concluded one door was the only product capable of meeting complex fire codes and leaving the beauty and accessibility of the space completely open and unobstructed. Without the height and wide span capabilities of these folding fire doors, and without the project architect's knowledge of this solution, the 2-hour occupancy separation would have been aesthetically impossible, and the project would have never gotten past the preliminary design stages. That's why more and more design professionals are now considering the implications of one-door UL-listed and code-recognized fire doors in the early design stages. They understand that their knowledge of one door's ability to solve code restrictions gives them a distinct design advantage over competitors who cling to increasingly restrictive traditional solutions. If this is your first exposure to using one-door FireGuard doors to maximize fire safety and solve design problems related to code requirements, sit back, relax, and enjoy some exciting new design opportunities as we tour a few high-profile one-door installations around the country. Simi Valley, California. The Stubbies Associates, building designers for the Ronald Reagan Library, solved key code requirements in open design by placing one doors in the wall behind a beautiful glass frontage. They solved the code-required occupancy separation between the museum's lobby and the executive offices of the former President and First Lady. One doors also solved the designer's need to locate elevators more conveniently mid-building directly off the corridor. This eliminated the need for space-taking elevator vestibules and made storage space more accessible. Finally, separation of a retail gift shop from a rated exit corridor provided a sales-generating full frontage opening during the day and an excellent security barrier after hours. A bright new star on the Atlanta skyline is the Promenade Building. Designed by the Atlanta-based TVS Associates, it was featured prominently in Architectural Record, Buildings Magazine, and Office Age. The TVS corporate offices are also located in this building, spanning 3 full floors. In an exceptionally creative design, Studio Chief Ray Hoover used one-door FireGuard doors on all 3 floors to meet code requirements for both elevator lobby separation and separation of a vertically open 3-story communicating stairway. The award-winning results was a combination of openness, interior forms, and lighting. San Francisco, California. Seattle architect NBBJ replaced 2 small elevators in the Brooks Brothers department store with a beautiful interior stairway open to all 3 levels. 2 curved 180-minute rated one-door fire doors stored in the wall during normal use provided the vertical separation required by codes and the total openness desired by the owner and architect. San Francisco architect ED2 International also created a large open area by locating one doors instead of side hinge doors between the reception area and the elevators of this foreign consulate. The result was a much more attractive and accessible interior. Florida. Prime Design Tampa used one doors to simultaneously provide fire and sound separation between the soundstage and office space at WTVX Television in Tampa. Project architects VOA solved the code-required occupancy separation between residential and retail shops at the Disney Boat and Yacht Club Hotel in Orlando with one-door FireGuard doors. One doors were also used at the bottom of the stair tower to form a rated exit corridor in the event of a fire, but remain completely open during normal use. VOA architects also utilized the FireGuard solution for elevator lobby separation in the famous Peabody Hotel. Columbus, Ohio architects McDonald, Cassell, and Bassett faced the challenge of retaining the 100-year-old D.L. Stone design period architecture of the Brumbach Historical Library. A focal point of the nation's first county library was an interior stairway used in a means of egress. They concluded there was only one way to meet modern fire codes and still keep this key stairway open. That solution was to install a one-door FireGuard that would enclose the stairway in a fire emergency, but leave it open during normal use. The same solution was used by McDonald, Cassell, and Bassett for the Reed Memorial Library, where, once again, traditional fire doors were not aesthetically acceptable and did not fit the period architecture of the original building. By using one door, the designers were able to preserve and showcase the wood-paneled and marbled stairway while still meeting code requirements for a stairway used in a means of egress. Greensboro, North Carolina's four-season resort architect, RS&H, concluded that the only acceptable way to add a convention center to an existing hotel and still keep the connecting space completely open was to separate the old from the new with one-door FireGuard doors that easily span the 16-foot-high, 75-foot-wide opening. One doors were also used to provide the vertical separation required from the atrium on the second floor and the elevator lobby separation on the first and fifth floors. Las Vegas, Nevada. Caesar's Palace is not the only Las Vegas hotel to capitalize on the fire safety and design flexibility of one-door fire doors. Most major hotels and resorts in Las Vegas utilize one-door fire doors, including Circus, The Dunes, Frontier, Riviera, Rio, and Golden Nugget. The famous Harrah's car lobby remains open with one-door created separation from adjacent elevators, while Excalibur separates the casino from the Children's Activity Center with a connecting escalator protected by one door. In Chicago, HOK Architects retained the striking four-floor open lobby design of the Panasonic building by protecting the vertical opening with one-door fire doors. An extra creative use of drywall and matching paint totally hid all evidence of the presence of the fire protection assembly, and the space remains totally open during normal use. Also in Chicago, architects Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White retained the 12-foot-wide corridor separating the new Galvin addition to the Motorola building by installing one-door FireGuard doors. Again, traditional compliance methods were not acceptable to either the owner or the designers. Chicago's Amico building separates its pedestrian walkway between the building and the Fairmont Hotel with one doors. It not only solves the code-required separation, but keeps the space open. It also is used periodically for after-hours access control. JCPenney and Gottschalk's realized a combined savings of over $100,000 when architects Viola Dinahan Archuleta were able to use one doors to satisfy fire separation upgrades in the Antelope Valley Mall in Palmdale, California. By retrofitting one doors to the entrance of the mall, the fire life safety upgrades were met and extra security benefits realized. Since occupying the space, several break-ins have occurred in other mall retail spaces through traditional security gates or roll-downs. However, the same burglars were not able to penetrate the one-door FireGuard doors despite numerous attempts with crowbars. JCPenney is currently considering adding one door to other locations for security purposes alone. Also in Southern California, Carmichael Kemp Architects used one doors to provide separation in two high schools for dual-stage prosceniums. One open to the interior theater, the other open to a large common area. The city of Beverly Hills wanted to preserve full view of a beautifully ornate two-story rotunda at City Hall. Architects Reeves Associates located a one-door FireGuard at the second-story entrance to the elevator lobby. This satisfied the code-required separation, yet left the view of the rotunda fully open during normal use.